You know, prime example, growing up, my parents didn't really teach me wrong, but they left out a lot of different things. Growing up, it was, hey, if I give you $10 for your allowance, and I hate the term allowance, we're gonna talk about that today, you gotta give God $1. That's really one of the only money conversations that I actually had. Let me put my phone on mute. It's one of the only money conversations that I had. It's like, yo, you gotta give God his 10%. But I really didn't hear the conversation of here's how you build wealth. Here's how you start a business, you know. I heard the credit conversations, you know, a little bit growing up because of their credit conversation talks, but I didn't really have parents sit down and tell me what to do. And partially it was because my parents were living paycheck to paycheck. So they didn't really know what to honestly teach me. So we got to start having a conversation around every budget that you set, every penny that you spend, and everything that you model is an important sense of conversation that you need to have with your young people. So with this backdrop, I want to really dive into the 10 things, the 10 wealthy building lessons millionaires, wealthy individuals are having with their kids. And these are the conversations that, as I've been around wealthy individuals who have kids, I've just noticed, okay, what kind of conversation are you having? Prime example, this was sparked to me because this has nothing to do with money, but it has everything to do with money somewhat, in a way. I remember when I first joined Ramsey Solutions and the individual who was over all of the personalities there, man, I remember it was my first year there. And he said, hey, man, I'm about to go away for a couple of days. Are you good? And I was like, yeah, what you about to do? He said, man, I'm taking my son up to the mountains and we're going to have a man conversation about sex and why purity is important. So he took away his son for 3 weeks and they had a Bible study, not for 3 weeks, for 3 days. And they had a Bible study of why abstaining until marriage is important from a biblical perspective. And I asked a question. I was like, man, is that something that you practice? And he said, yeah, I was a virgin when I got married, and all of his kids were virgins until they got married. And this is his youngest son. And I was like, wow. And then I started asking around the room, and a lot of the personalities were virgins until they got married. And it was because their parents had healthy conversations with them earlier on. And so as I started being around other millionaires, I was like, yo, what kind of conversations are you having with your young people, with your kids, that you believe is going to set them up to be ahead of the average kid in America? And a lot of them had healthy conversations around money. And I said, okay, cool. What are the top 3 things that you're talking about? And I gathered all that information and I put into one show because I was honestly taking notes for myself. And then I said, you know what? Although I don't have kids, I can help you all who do have kids and help you all understand these are the things you need to be doing with your kids. So I really want you to actually, don't even write these down. I'm actually going to put this in a PDF. I'm going to put this in a PDF, and we're going to put that link in today's show notes. Click it, download it, and I want you to really go through this with your spouse and watch it. Let me say this too. Let me say this up front. Some of you may not be married to your child's father or mother. How do I say this respectfully? Yeah, I'm gonna say this respectfully because I'm gonna say this respectfully. I want to be sensitive to the issues to where there needs to be no relationship. I do, but I also do believe that we have a lot of parents who are not with their child's the child's other parent, and sometimes it's because of our personal issues that we have with them that prevents us from being on the same page to raising our kid. So I'm not asking you to have the best relationship, but when it with your child's parent, the other parent, but when it comes to raising them and teaching them, you two should be on one accord. What's going on, fam? It's your boy Anthony ONeal here, and I want to thank my dear friends at BetterHelp for sponsoring today's amazing show. Now, here's the thing. The end of the year can be a mixed bag of emotions. Let's be real, right? Joy, stress, and a bit of seasonal blues, especially if we're single. That's why I think it's key to find something positive to kind of balance this thing out. One thing that's worked for me has been therapy, because I truly do believe therapy can be a game changer. It's about building skills, setting boundaries, and empowering yourself to be your very best self. And that's where my friends at BetterHelp comes in. It's online therapy, convenient and super flexible. You simply fill out a brief 10-minute questionnaire, get matched with an amazing licensed therapist quickly. And what I really love about it is, let's say if you need to switch and try someone else out, you can. So listen, this season, I want you to find your bright spot with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/AO. Let's make this season about thriving, not just surviving. Let's get back to the show. And these 10 things that I'm going to give you, I want you to print off one copy for you and one copy for the other parent and send it to the other parent, or send them this video so you two can get on the same page. Because I'm going to be real. Our Black kids need this information. I'm tired of us not teaching wealth to our kids. Wealth is not money. Wealth is freedom. And if you didn't get this shirt, I'm sorry. If you didn't get this hoodie, I'm sorry, you missed out. But wealth is not just money, it is freedom. And wealth starts at home. It starts when that kid is 3 years old. It starts when that kid is 5 years old. And the stuff I'm going to teach today may contradict what you were taught growing up. But I promise you, I've seen these young people. I'm not saying these kids are perfect kids. I'm not saying they're making all the right decisions. But what I am saying, these 10 things I'm going through today, the Bible says, train your child in the way that they should go. So when they leave, if they leave the training, they will come back, because the training has to come back. And so I'm going to give you these 10 things, and these are very, very, very important. And I'm going to dial in. So here's number one. You got to define wealth early on. You got to break down exactly what is wealth. We got to stop teaching our kids and stop showing our kids what, God just checked me. Our kids see living paycheck to paycheck. They see struggle. They see us trying to survive. They need to see and hear what is wealth. What is freedom? Wealth, we got to stop. Young people growing up, I thought growing up, if I was rich, you know what I'm saying? Can I just be real? I'm just going to be real. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be real. I thought being rich was I had the real nice car, I had the girl with the big old booty, and I had a real nice house. That's what I thought rich was. No one sat down and told me rich and wealth is two different things. Rich means you have a lot of money. Wealth means you have freedom. Rich means that I got a lot of money today, but I could be broke tomorrow. Wealth means I have options to where if I don't want to go in tomorrow to work, I can go. I can be like, okay, bye. Wealth means that I can survive days and days and days without money coming in. Wealth means that if I want this car or that car, I can buy both cars. Wealth means if my wife is sick and tired of working, I can say, baby, retire, come home. Wealth means if my church, if my community needs $100,000, $50,000, $1 million, wealth means I can sow into that. Wealth means I could be generous. Wealth gives me options, and we need to start educating our kids that wealth isn't just about accumulating a lot of money. It's about expanding our options and choices in life. Take your kids out. Take your kids out looking at houses. Show them this house and then drive them 10 miles down the road. So not that house. I forgot, Michelle J, what they call that? CJ, what they call that? Something of homes, parade of homes. You know how often I often go out to the parade of homes and I see all these beautiful homes. I want to show my kids at 10 years old, you can have this. One of my, well, I can't call her a friend because we don't talk anymore, but there was a young lady who I used to date back in the days, and and in Cincinnati, she has a very nice elementary school, and she takes her kids on college visits in elementary school. I said, why are you doing this? She said, because early on, I want to paint a picture in their head of what they can have. I don't want them to only see the stress that they see. I don't want them to only grow up and think that life is about struggle. Life is about this. I want them to see options. I want them to see opportunity. And so in the 5th grade, I take them to where they'll be in the next 10 to 15 years. That's wealth. Wealth is more than just money. Wealth is options and choices of life.
Welcome to the table.